First, for a glimpse of that are the highlights. 6 bodies that were unaccounted for after a boat accident in Lake Baringo have been recovered.
All the 6 bodies were found,
bringing the total number of fatalities to 7. And doctors remain adamant that they will continue with their strike after talks between them and the government hit a snag. If a new proposal by the government is approved, all civil servants, regardless of job grade, will transition from permanent employment to contractual terms. Now here tonight to help us take this ship on its proper voyage is our sign language interpreter, or sign language anchor, I should say, Rhoda Nyamai. Good evening, Rhoda, and welcome. And with that out of the way, shall we begin? In a deadlock gripping the nation's healthcare system, talks between the doctors' union and the government have collapsed once again. This means prolonging a strike that is now on day 41. With essential issues unresolved, including their remuneration for interns, tensions escalate as both sides struggle to find common ground. The Doctors' Union has maintained that their go-slow shall continue despite threats by the government to deal with the striking doctors. Take a look.
Because as a union, we said it earlier and we continue to maintain that you are not in a hurry.
The talks between the doctors and the government have yet again hit a dead end after claims that the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union failed to show up for the second day in a row to sign the return to work formula. With this being the 4th meeting that has failed, the Council of Governors through its chair Anne Waiguru has threatened to take necessary action at the county level to ensure that health services are not disrupted.
We therefore advise all county governments to take appropriate and necessary action to ensure that health services are not disrupted moving forward.
At the onset of the now 41-day strike by KMPDU, 19 issues were put on the table by the Doctors' Union, key among the 19 being payment of medical interns and the implementation of the 2017 CBA. And as of Monday, the head of public service, Felix Koskei, had announced that the doctors and the government had agreed to begin the release of basic salary arrears to be paid in 5 installments as per their agreement. Health CS Susan Nakumicho has revealed that so far 18 issues have been resolved except the remuneration for interns, a matter which is still in court. However, the CS has also reiterated that the 70,000 Kenyan shillings offer is still available and will be renegotiated after June of 2024.
The ministry has received 2.4 billion for payment of internship. And I want to clarify that this 2.4 billion is available to the ministry up to June 2024. So the offer of 70,000 for those interns who need to be posted is still available.
KMPDU in a rejoinder stood its ground, saying that they will not be deterred and neither will they back down unless the main issue of contention is addressed.
We are reiterating that there is no doctor who will go back to work and leave our doctor interns to be exploited.
The government had given the unions time to talk to their members regarding the signing of the return to work formula. After a series of meetings with the union on Sunday, the deal was later pushed to Tuesday after they failed to show up on Monday. This painting a clear picture of the long paralysis that will continue to impair the health sector. Ann Odida, TV 47.
In other news, 6 bodies which were missing following a boat accident in Lake Baringo, were retrieved early Tuesday morning, raising the total number of fatalities to 7. And as Elizabeth Atieno now reports, the bodies were found at the shore of the lake as authorities urge residents to be careful, especially during the ongoing rainy season.
6:30 a.m. Tuesday morning. A multi-agency task force comprised of Coast Guards, Marine Police, Kenya Red Cross personnel and local divers were able to retrieve the bodies of 6 individuals that went missing following a boat tragedy, raising the death toll from the incident to 7. The bodies were found at the shores of the lake on Kokwa Island.
We have been doing surveillance at night, and this morning, very early in the morning, at around 6:30, all the 6 bodies were found. And we can successfully say that we have retrieved all the 6 bodies. Unfortunately, there were no survivors. All of them were fatal.
The ill-fated vessel was carrying 23 high school and grade 8 students and was en route to Kokwa Island for a church service when the trip turned into a desperate fight for survival as the boat capsized in Lake Baringo.
Jabu ni kwamba mahali hawa vijana walikuwa naenda kanisa. Hiyo mwili ilipatikana kwa hiyo mlima, chini ya hiyo mlima ambayo alikuwa naenda kuomba Mungu. Na ilipatikana wote 6. Tuliona Mungu ametusaidia. Si rahisi kupata mwili 6 safari moja.
Survivors have since recounted the harrowing ordeal of sudden turbulence as strong winds swept across the lake with a disabled propeller entangled into a fishing net that led to a frantic struggle for safety.
We'd like to say pole to the families who've lost their members through this tragic accident.
Amidst screams and chaos, a nearby boat emerged as a lifeline. 16 passengers were pulled to safety, while 6 others clung onto hope as the now successful search and rescue operation unfolded. The capsized boat has since been towed to the shore, serving as a grim reminder of the fragile balance between faith and misfortune that unfolded on these waters on Sunday, the 21st of April, 2024. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, still on a somewhat calamitous note, a section of Nairobi residents will have to endure a night in the open as their homes have been flooded due to heavy rainfall. The situation is particularly severe in informal settlements where rainwater mixed with sewage is posing serious health risks. A spot check by TV47 revealed challenging conditions on the roads, with motorists facing difficulties navigating through the flooded streets. Andreen Kilemi with that story.
Tuesday morning and the city roads, usually bustling with activity, now lie submerged under a blanket of water, disrupting transportation and businesses alike. The usually vibrant city atmosphere is muted by the sounds of sloshing water and frustrated drivers honking in a traffic gridlock. The downpour has left the city flooded, leaving motorists struggling to drive through flooded roads.
Gari yangu imepata shida, imesimika. Imebidi sasa tutoe viatu, tusukume gari tuke kwa maji. It's a big challenge kwetu sisi wanabiashara.
The situation is not different in the residential areas adjacent to the roads, with car parking spaces submerged in water. At Mzee Sebastian Mugo's home, the situation is dire. Water has overflowed from the car park to his house, rendering it inhabitable.
Maji ikitoka kwa barabara igie kwa boma, igie kwa nyumba, hata mwili unakuwa mbaya. Mimi nasikia mgonjwa kabisa. Hata saa nyingine mimi natoka na lala nje.
At the Mukuru Kwaruben slum, the situation is critical as rainwater contaminated with sewage infiltrates homes, creating serious health risks.
Kama sasa kuna wakati huwezi vaa hata gambuti, unatembea tu miguu tupu. Na hiyo maji ikitoka chini kupanda juu, lazima itakuadhiri kiafya. Na maugonjwa pia ni mingi, kuna takataka, kuna mavi, kuna nini, kila kitu.
Many residents in these neighborhoods have been compelled to seek alternative living arrangements due to the poor living conditions and the looming threat of diseases that persist in their midst.
Nimekuwa mtu wa kuombaomba, hata sufuria, mastovu yote ilibebwa na maji. Nimerudishwa TV zangu, vitu zangu zote, hata mabarua zilibebwa na mafuriko juu ni maji ilistukia na si maji ya kawaida. Shida kubwa tu ni drainage.
On Monday, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja urged residents residing in riparian land within the city to evacuate immediately due to the ongoing heavy rainfall. This directive came after a meeting with a multi-agency team on Monday to evaluate the flooding situation. Andreen Kilemi, TV 47.
Now, with the government committed to implement several measures to achieve a 35% wage bill reduction, or rather wage bill to revenue ratio, Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Honorable Moses Kuria, now says he is set to table a proposal that will ensure that all employees under the national government are hired on contract basis. Paul Kirobi reports.
Under a period of 1 week after the third National Wage Bill Conference was held at the Bomas of Kenya, it seems the heads are now rolling and the government seems to be keen on lowering the wage bill. The Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Moses Kuria, has confirmed on the need to table a proposal on ensuring that the national government employees will be hired under contract. After the conclusion of the third National Wage Bill Conference at the Bomas of Kenya last week, the conversation about the government's efforts towards reducing the wage bill has taken a new form. Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Moses Kuria, now saying that it is now necessary to propose measures to transition national government employees to contractual hiring agreements. The CS says he is set to table the proposal this Friday when the cabinet convenes for special meeting to iron out critical matters in government.
All government workers, at least on the national government, COG can speak for county government, all government workers from driver to cleaners to everybody will be converted to contract. There is not going to be anybody permanent anymore. If you want to be permanent, show me that even on earth, your tenure is permanent.
However, CS Kuria did not indicate the number of years a government employee will be serving. According to the resolution of the National Wage Bill Conference, stakeholders emphasized on the government's need to achieving a wage bill to revenue ratio of not more than 35% by 2028. During the conference, SRC chairperson Lynn Mengich said Kenya is not doing well in terms of productivity in comparison with other countries in Africa and globally. SRC Commissioner John Monyoncho also gave a picture of the current situation on the wage bill, saying public wage bill in Kenya has been growing within an environment of revenue and financial constraints, consuming a significant portion of the national budget, thus putting pressure on development and investment share of the fiscal budget. Hundreds of delegates from public service institutions and other institutions were tasked to get to work and implement the resolutions towards attaining the 35% target. CS Moses Kuria was speaking on Tuesday during the meeting of the Hall of Nation Approach Committee, where government offered doctors a deal of 6.1 billion to resolve the long-standing strike that has affected Kenyans. Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
In other news, the Azimio coalition has intensified its demands for a comprehensive and transparent inquiry to uncover the circumstances surrounding the tragic crash of a military aircraft, resulting in the loss of 10 lives, including that of the Chief of Defence Forces, the late General Francis Ogola. Following Tuesday's parliamentary group meeting, the coalition voiced its concerns about a military-dominated investigation, expressing concerns about potential secrecy surrounding the process. Azimio has now called for a hybrid investigation model, combining a civilian judicial inquest with representation from the families of the victims in both phases of the inquiry.
The parliamentary group shared deep condolences with his family and the families of all those who perished together with him. Further, the PG called for a judicial inquest into the accident and death as opposed to mere investigation led by the military that is close to civilians. We also demand that families of the victims be independently represented in the investigation and inquest. I must hasten to add that we have authorized Honorable Anthony Oluoch and Senator Enoch Wamboa to lead a process of establishing a parliamentary inquiry, a joint parliamentary inquiry involving both the Senate and the National Assembly into the unfortunate death of General Ogola.
Now, the reconstitution of the electoral body, that is IEBC, will soon be a reality. This is after the IEBC Amendment Bill 2024 was tabled in the National Assembly, paving way for the formation of the crucial body. The bill, which is part of 9 key bills meant to anchor the National Dialogue Report, will also pave way for the stalled delimitation of constituency boundaries. Apollo Kamau reports.
The tabling of the IEBC Amendment Bill 2024 is a crucial step in reconstituting the electoral body and anchoring the NADCO reporting law, midwifed by the BAMBA's National Dialogue Committee. The bill, meant to cure the ills of the last election, has proposed an increase of the selection panel tasked to pick IEBC commissioners from 7 to 9, a move meant to accommodate various interest groups. On the current selection panel, the bill proposes to stop the mandate of the current team, led by Nelson Makanda, once the bill becomes law. The bill has also moved in to unlock the stalled review of constituency boundaries, which will be overseen by the new IEBC commissioners, while outlining the procedures to be followed. The bill has also pegged the quorum of the new IEBC commissioners at 5, while stating that crucial decisions have to be adopted unanimously or by a majority. In order to cure mishaps witnessed in the last election, the bill has proposed IEBC reviews its operations and make changes 1 year after the poll. Apul Kamau, TV47.
We now take a short break. We'll be right back with more content, including news and later on that interview, all-important interview on the World Liver Day, specifically liver health. That's our focus tonight on the People's Court. We will be seeking your input, your views and reviews on the news. The SMS line will be on the screen, WhatsApp, phone numbers. Let us know what you think, where you're watching us from and what your experience is. But in the meantime, let's take a bit of a breather. We'll be right back with more.
Na safari hii katika Mfahamu Kiongozi tutakuletea viongozi aina mbalimbali.
Nikuwe na Nisani kama 10 na pia nikuwe menua minibus. Minibus niko niwa.
Kushinda unaangalia simu ya mzee. Soma Biblia ama ingia kwa washroom ujisugue. Mpaka nimetoa hivi.
I don't know whether any of my children would want to get into the political field. Sijajua bado.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30 kuendelea.
Join us on a journey through the concrete jungles and rising skylines, where every beam, every nail tells a story of progress and vision.
In every aspect of life, you know, you have to look at several dynamics.
From groundbreaking.
Nowadays with the tech, you can check on different websites or you check online and you can see some inspiration. So at least that one would be a direction already. I'll know like what kind of style you're going for.
To finishing touches, witness the dedication of the hard-working teams who bring these ambitious dreams to reality. The Realtor, Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m.
This is the Daily Report, and you're welcome. Let's continue with our coverage of what's happening across your world. Widespread poverty has been blamed for high school dropout rates and early marriages in the North Coast region, and thus education scholarships have come out to save many learners from the challenges. A Form 4 leaver at the Kakoneni Girls High School, Lillian Nthoki, in Malindi Sub-County, says that poverty at her parents' home in Malindi almost forced her into an early marriage, since her father had already identified a suitable husband. Immediately, she sat for her Kenya Certificate of Primary Education, that is KCPE. Nthoki is currently under the scholarship courtesy of the Wings to Fly scholarship scheme by Equity Foundation, and he is advising girls not to give up in life.
Nashukuru Equity kwa kunichukua, kwa kunisaidia. Kama ingekuwa si hiyo, nilikuwa nafaa kuwa nimeolewa. Sababu gani? Kulikuja mwanaume kama mwambia mamangu kwamba atanioa alafu atasomesha wadogo zangu, lakini bahati nzuri nikapata vizuri KCSE max kapata 313, nikaenda kwa apply hiyo scholarship nikapata Equity kanipeleka shuleni. Sasa hivi matumaini yangu ni kama kimaliza KCSE nipata grade nzuri nijione hiyo branch yao, ili na mimi niweze kuendelea kimasomo, nisaidie kijijini kwetu, nielimisha sana wengine kwamba sidanganywe na wanaume ambao wana pesa, kwani watu watumia vibaya na mwisho karibu maisha yao. Niko form 4 nataka kuwa daktari ili nisaidie wanawake wajawazito, kwani wakienda kwa hospitalini wengine wananyanyaswa, hawaangalii vizuri. Sasa nataka niwasaidie ili niwaangalie sababu gani hao ambao wanazaa kwa viongozi wa kesho ambao watawasaidia wengine kwa maishani mwao. Ingekuwa si wings to fly kama mimi nimesema ilikuwa nitaolewa sababu gani? Hiyo ni kitu ambayo inaendelea mtaani sababu gani? Nini wazazi wengi wanapenda pesa na mbele ya pesa mzazi hawezi kukubali kukataa. Sasa nakwambia mtoto wangu nenda, huko nyumbani tukibaki tutakula nini? Na wewe kama mtokeza kwa wewe ndo first born ukapata tani, sasa utabidi uende.
The educational leadership program within Equity has impacted over 60,000 students. There are still very many needy cases out there that requires help, that requires intervention. And you know, we are appealing to other, you know, well-wishers and other organizations to really come in and help because we are not, as Equity and our partners, not able also to take everything.
Now, the Safaricom Foundation has set aside at least 210 million shillings to fund community investments set to benefit over 1 million Kenyans countrywide. The fund, which will be channeled to health, education and economic empowerment projects under the Foundation's sustainable philanthropy programs, namely the Ndoto Zetu Pamoja, Usamaria and regional engagements, will be beneficial to the beneficiaries, really. Ndoto Zetu, which is now entering its 6th phase, Ndoto Zetu has seen Safaricom Foundation invest over 271 million shillings in over 1,400 projects, directly improving more than 1.9 million lives across all the 47 counties.
Smile, and then give me a thumbs up.
Wow.
Thumbs up. One more.
We get involved with communities to make sure that we tap into what our business is about, which is all about transforming lives. So we are here today to focus on the work that we do with the foundation. Now we are launching Ndoto Zetu version 6. Safaricom wants to continue to celebrate with Kenyans and to improve the lives of Kenyans. In every small way we can, by giving back and also acknowledging that there's much more you can do beyond all the profits that we make. This year, we are going to be investing 100 million Kenya shillings in Ndoto Zetu. This is phase 6. This is to fund community dreams, as Joe explained.
Vision that we make in support of their ongoing activities. Last year, we put in 100 million, and out of this 100 million, we supported about 299 projects across the country. Recently, we were in Nakuru, and I heard a story of this lady who Ndoto Zetu supported in getting sewing machines, and she has been able to support young people to start small businesses.
Thank you for your partnership. We thank you even for the continued support that you've given us. We know you support even other facilities, including Bagavi. And so we're really grateful, Safaricom, for not only giving back to the community, but choosing to do it with us. And we promise you here that we are diligent, we are accountable, and for every resource that you're going to give us, we will ensure that it is put.
Now, factory owners will be able to exclusively produce at night for half of the normal electricity cost. This will start on 1st May this year. This comes in a raft of adjustments by President William Ruto, who says that exportation of priority Kenyan-made products even, such as apparel, remains a focus value chain and an additional 3 billion shillings will be dispersed to promote these ventures. But is the annual compounded growth projection of 20% still viable in the apparel industry? Ibak Saeed with the details.
Just this month, Kenya Power cut electricity costs by around 13.7%, one of the highest price cuts since the beginning of last year. The reduced dispatch of electricity from thermal power plants has seen the fuel cost charge reduce to 3 shillings and 26 cents per unit of electricity that will be consumed in April, from an initial 4 shillings and 33 cents per unit in January this year.
Because of the future we think should be our target as we go into the next stage. Welcome to Kenya, a land of opportunity and nation going places. Welcome to the future, a future of transformation and inclusive growth.
The special pardon for factories comes after manufacturers lamented on the high cost of electricity that pushes up operational costs, which is then pushed to the end consumer.
It will make our turnaround in production much more efficient, faster, and cost-effective.
And we just feel like doubling up our efforts and doing more to realize your dream of industrialization.
While commissioning the opening of next-gen factory at the Athi River Export Processing Zone, the president acknowledged major teething problems experienced by up-and-coming industries, which has debilitated the progress of the manufacturing industry, which still stands at 7.8%.
I want the leaders who are here to keep track of the numbers. The numbers are very important.
Out of this growth, we have had a huge demand for spaces within the EPZ. Your government has responded to this huge demand by gazetting 5 new EPZ zones.
Ibak Saeed for TV47.
Now, in a widespread expansion drive, Naivas Supermarkets Limited has solidified its position as Kenya's leading supermarket chain with the opening of its 103rd outlet on Langata Road in the Langata-Medlink area. Speaking during the launch of the supermarket, the Chief of Strategy, Andreas von Palaski, attributed their success to the profitability of goods and good customer service. The retailer's rapid expansion comes just 2 months after the opening of its 102nd outlet in Westlands.
Store along Langata Road. We've been looking for a good site in this area for a very long time and are very pleased to open, and I think you can see in the background, what we think is a very good supermarket proposition in the area, and we hope to serve our customers really well here. This is store number 103. As a business, and the reason we've gotten this far as a business is we are very focused on making sure all of our stores are profitable and all of our stores serve our customers well. And when we find a store that is not meeting the demands of the customer or is not profitable for us, then we don't hesitate to close it. But overall, of course, we are growing our number of stores.
Now over to sports, where the national junior golf team this evening competed in the round 1 of the All-Africa Junior Teams Golf Championship in Johannesburg, South Africa. The squad, led by Junior Golf Foundation President Regina Gashora, departed last Friday for the Benoni Country Club. The continental competition has attracted 16 countries, including Kenya, defending champions, and hosts South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Namibia, Botswana, Egypt, Mauritius, Morocco, Tunisia, and Ghana. The top 2 teams in both genders will qualify for the 2024 World Junior Golf Championships in Japan in June. Meanwhile, Jelani Kihanya of Limuru Country Club and Antonia Mbudhia of the Muthaiga Golf Club are the winners of the Coast Junior Open Golf Championship held at Nyali Golf and Country Club in Mombasa County. After 3 rounds, Kihanya posted 240 points, while Antonia Mbudhia registered 257 points in the competition, which attracted players from across the country.
Winning this tournament means a lot to me because I feel like I've made my parents proud and I've done what I came here to do, because when I go to a tournament, I come there to try and win.
We had like 40% from Nairobi clubs and 60 from Mombasa, which shows a very big improvement from last year.
It's been a great event with good participation in terms of numbers.
We support families who want to protect and create wealth beyond generations, and that's why we're excited about our partnership with the Junior Golf Foundation.
Now, the 2024 Kenya Medical Training College Games kicked off earlier today in Nyeri County. The competition, which will involve athletics and ball games, has attracted teams from 11 institutions in the country and will end on Saturday. At the same time, leaders from the Mount Kenya region have urged the government to fulfill its pledge of constructing and renovating stadia in the region.
The issue of the completion of the stadia, the 7 stadia that had started their construction, and then they have stalled along the way. We complained about the stalling of projects under the Uhuru administration. How come we have become comfortable with it under the Kenya Kwanza administration?
We want to raise our participants outside class. They can also get their talent. They can expose their talent. They can be seen. They can go beyond.
Tomorrow we are having ball games, soccer, both for men and leg ball, handball, basketball.
It's good to see your future medics actually legging it on the field and showing what they've got. Let's get sporty, and with that we're done with the not just sports coverage but also the coverage of what we had in store for you in way of news. You can get a whole lot more through our digital platform, that is www.tv47.digital. You'll be able to get these and other stories therein, and we look forward to connecting with you on that platform, as well as our Twitter platform at TV47 News and at Muyakane, which is my platform, my handle on Twitter, at Muyakane. Later on, after this short break, we will be joined by Linda Alela and a strong panel of guests. Tonight, we're talking about livers. A couple of days ago, it was World Liver Day. This year, we're focused on making sure that our livers are healthy and making sure we're able to deal with all manner of liver ailments. If you have no idea about this, then this is a program for you. If you've got an idea about this, this is a program for you. If you've got questions, once again, you know the drill. This is the program for you. We shall be asking you to talk to us. Our SMS line is going to be on the screen. Our WhatsApp number is going to be on the screen as well. And our phone